Hey guys, I have not one, not two, but three new redstone creations for you today. All three are 2x2 hands-free trapdoors, a concept invented by Fennel and Misa. If you'd like to see their original video, a link will be in the description below, as well as another link for the first 2x2 hands-free trapdoor, which was made by Misa and Mr. Grongi. As well as links to those videos, direct links to their channel will also be in the description below, so be sure to sub to them as well. Now while all three of these accomplish the same thing, they go about it in a very different way. The one on the left is the most reliable out of all of them, however it is the largest as well. The middle one over here is the fastest and is really compact, however it is not bucket compatible, while the one on the very right is the smallest, but it is horribly slow and the closing animation is one tick away from being beyond crap. Yeah. Furthermore, the size difference between this one and the middle one is only 2 blocks, so I really have no idea why you might want to build this one at all, but I'm going to be doing a tutorial on all three of them anyways, so just click on the design you want to build and I'll see you there in a second. So for the first design, once you find where it's going to be, of course, then you need to go 1 block out from the rim of the hole, then you need to place 3 sticky pistons like this, 1, 2, 3, then 2 normal pistons facing upwards, there and there. And then on the other side we need to do pretty much the same thing, 2 sticky pistons, and then each of them will be holding a normal piston, 1, 2, and those normal pistons will be filling in the floor when they extend and stuff. And then for this sticky piston here, you need to place another sticky piston, and when that extends, it'll push this redstone block over to where that quartz block is now, which will power this sticky piston holding a redstone block there. Then this will be going into a dropper circuit, and this dropper circuit needs to be filled very carefully. It needs exactly a stack and 19 blocks. So let me find 16, and then 1, 2, 3 makes 19. There we go. And then get a comparator output, of course. And this will be going into the rest of our system. So dust, dust, dust. That will be going into a repeater on 2 ticks of delay, going into dust, block, and then that will be going into a repeater on 2 ticks, which is going to go into our redirection piston. Now when this detector rail extends, it'll redirect that dust, so it's no longer going to be powering that block, but we're not going to do anything with that yet. We're going to save that towards the end, because if we were to place it now, then it'll clock and stuff, and that will not be nice for any of our ears, so just leave that for the end. Another repeater on 2 there will be going into another redirection piston, and once again we're not going to do anything with that for now. And then pretty much it's mirrored on the other side as well, with some very slight differences. So here we go, comparator going into torch, going into dust, going into a repeater on 1 tick, and from there it's pretty much exactly mirrored. So dust, and then a repeater on 2 ticks going into a redirection piston, and once again not going to do anything with that. Then on this side, another repeater on 2 ticks going into the final redirection piston, and then when we're done with that, we can finally start doing stuff with the redirection pistons. So first of all, let me grab myself a lever, because we need to place 2 blocks there, and then 2 dust here with a lever turning them on. Then on this side over here we need 2 more dust, and then a lever turning that on, and then over here we need a block of redstone, dust, dust, block, block, and then block of redstone, dust, dust. Oh wait, no, hold on, that cannot be a solid block there because of that sticky piston on the bottom. So let me grab myself a slab, and then dust there, and then we should be good to go. So all we need to do is reset the system, basically break that redstone block and place it again, and then repeater, and then we should be good to go. So string, and then let's test this out. So string, 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 and as you see there, it's already working. So when we step on it, we'll follow straight through, and that's it for the first design. For the second design, after you find where it's going to be, go 1 block from the edge of the hole, then place 1, 2, 3 sticky pistons, and those will hold 2 normal pistons there. Then we need 2 sticky pistons on this side as well, and those will be holding 2 normal pistons as well. And then finally on this last sticky piston here, we need a normal piston facing sideways. Then that will be going into a sticky piston holding a redstone block, which will be powering that sticky piston, and when that extends, it'll just depower all of this dust here. Then when this dust turns off, it'll also turn off this repeater on 4 ticks, and that repeater on 4 ticks will be going into one of our redirection pistons, but don't place anything else, otherwise it'll clock and stuff. Instead, let's work on the rest of the system. So dust, a repeater there, and that will be going into a dropper thing here. And this is going to be a little bit odd, so place 9 swords or whatever in this top dropper, and then one of them in the bottom dropper as well. And this just ensures that we have a full signal strength of 15 being outputted. Anything less than that would be changing the signal strength, because if you're, let's say we were to have 2 there, when this piston retracts, this redstone block, which we're going to place later, is going to retract as well, and that'll change the signal strength from 2 to 15, and that'll just automatically update instead of just redirecting and butting, which is not what we want. So break that redstone block again, and then just leave it, I guess, for now, and then go to the rest of the creation. So dust, block there, and then a repeater on 2 ticks there, going into another redirection piston, and that one will be holding detector rail. Then on this side over here we need another repeater on 4 ticks, and then this is basically just a mirror. So a repeater on 4 ticks there into another redirection piston, then a torch there going into dust, a repeater that will be going into dust there, block there, a repeater on 2 going into another redirection piston. And then that's pretty much it for the redstone. Now we could actually place the dust that the redirection pistons will be redirecting. So first of all, on this side we need a redstone block there to power that dust there, and then redirect that a second time with that detector rail there. Then the same thing on this side as well. And then over here we could just place a redstone block there. Then a half slab here going into dust, going into dust, going into, oh, no, 2 blocks there. And then as you see there, now it's working. That did not go to plan. But anyways, that's it for this one, I guess. Let me just double test it. So place string on top, and when you walk over them, it'll automatically update those pistons. And there we go. Opens very quickly, and we could just drop down and stuff. So that's it for the second design. Stay tuned if you want to see the third one. So for the third design, once you find where it's going to be, go 1 block from the edge of the hole, then place 1, 2, 3 sticky pistons, and then the top 2 blocks there will be normal pistons. Then on the side here we need 2 more sticky pistons, and once again the top 2 blocks will be normal pistons there and there, and then when those extend they'll just be put over the hole and do their hands-free trapdoors thing. And then finally place a sticky piston there, so when that extends it'll push that redstone block into this piston, and this piston over here just controls some hopper timing stuffs. Place 2 strong items in there, such as a sword, and then get a comparator output just like this. Dust there, and then another comparator to preserve the signal length. Dust, 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 then torch on that side of the block, and a redirection piston here. Then after that we need a repeater going into another redirection piston, and make sure that you put that repeater on 2 ticks, and then leave that alone for now. We're going to come back to that later. If we do anything more, then it'll clock as we redstone. So we need to finish the rest of the redstone first before we move on. Then get another comparator, and that will be going into even more dust, going into torches, and then this dust over here will be going into the redirection pistons on this side. So block there, going into dust, going into a torch, going into another redirection piston here, and then a repeater there going into another redirection piston here. Come to this side over here, and then place a normal piston facing upwards, then a block there, a repeater on 4 ticks there, another repeater on 4 ticks there, and then dust here to power those 3 pistons, and then a torch on that side and a repeater on 4 there. And then that's it for the primary redstone. All we need to do now is just place the redirection dust there that's going to be redirected. So I believe it goes like this. Dust on a redstone block there, and then a block, and then on the other side we need to do the same thing. So dust on a redstone block there, and then to finish it off all we need to do is place a redstone block there, and then we should be good to go. So if I were to grab myself some string place that all over these pistons, we should be good to go. These pistons should all be butted, so when we walk over them, they'll open up, and then we could just drop through, and we could see the absolutely horrendous closing animation just like that. So that's it for the tutorial portion of this video. Now, if you'd like an explanation on how some of the things work in these creations, then stick around. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed, and keep an eye out for my new series coming out soon called From the Basics. So all three of these, to a certain extent, are pretty self-explanatory, but I'm going to go over some of the more interesting details just in case you guys were too lazy to figure it out for yourselves. So first of all, when we walk over that, of course, some budding madness happens because of this detector rail there, which is redirecting that dust, which was previously powering that block, thus powering that piston, but no longer is since now it's redirected. So when I walk over this, it'll update it, and then when that updates, it'll update that piston, which will retract that redstone block, which will retract that redstone block, and then that just does this dropper stuff here. And the reason why we had to be so specific with this number of items is because this is exactly the number of items needed to output a signal length of 3. If we were to have one item less, which is what will happen when this redstone block retracts and then spits exactly one item into the other one, then this system over here will turn off because this dust will turn off there, since it'll only output a signal length of 2. So this right side does its reset thing, and then as soon as this gets an item in it, then this comparator will turn on and the left side will do its reset thing. So that's how the first one works. And the second one works pretty similarly, except for this one, we had to do some crazy dropper stuff, and the reason why we had to do that is because we needed to power this dust somehow, but we couldn't do it in the typical method of just having a redstone block there, because we have a piston there, which is also being butted. So we needed a way to have a dust area that's not like powering that, and to do that I just had a half slab there instead. And to power that, we needed to do this dropper stuff. But besides that, it's pretty much exactly the same. These repeaters are on such a delay that it'll butt the pistons. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the second design. Now for this third absolutely horrible design, what happens first is the redirection stuff does its thing, and that retracts. As you see here, I did some pretty tricky stuff where two things are redirecting the exact same piece of dust. So first of all, when I really don't know how to explain it. It'll turn into a dot. I guess that's the best way to explain it. So when it turns into a dot, it'll power this piston along with that block, which will power that piston. And then these two will do its thing. Either that one will retract and that one will extend, or vice versa, or whatever. And then it'll just redirect the dust. So now neither of these are being powered. So when I walk over any of them, they will update and retract. And when those retract, it'll retract this redstone block as well. And then when that retracts, it'll retract this redstone block here, and then this hopper thing does its thing, which will reset the entire circuit on this side. But how is it being powered on this side? Well, over here, this piston that I talked about earlier updates this repeater, since now it's no longer being powered, just like this piston. So through that block, it's no longer being powered. So as soon as I walk over that, that piston pulses, updating that repeater, and that updates that updates this entire thing. So this retracts, synced with the other side, and then when this repeater over here turns on, it'll update that normal piston there, which pushes these guys out again, which pushes the redstone block out, and then that'll push this redstone block out here, and then it'll reset this side as well, which is why it has that horrible delay when it closes. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. Once again, keep an eye out for that new series, and until next time, goodbye.